Welcome, everybody. On behalf of the Jordan family and the entire staff, welcome to Wiscasset Speedway. This is your track announcer, Ken Minot, ready to bring you the call of today's race program. The most important rule while you're here today, have fun. Are ready. The crew is ready. We hope you're ready too. It's race time at Wiscasset Speedway. Get settled in, folks. The show starts now.
Hey, shake and bake, gal. Woo! Shake and bake.
All right, we got the MRS Modifieds in the house, and first up is the 50 of Carl Medeiros. Now, Carl, rounds 1 and 2 of practice, you were setting the pace, but Matt Swanson just came out behind you guys at the end of 3, and he turned a 14.3. What do you have to say about that?
Gary Casella's prepared 25 it's fast at every track you go to. That's the guy to beat most nights, so I'm not surprised by that. I mean, they were thrashing on it the first 2 rounds of practice, so whatever they found, it definitely picked up. I think we might have a little something left. So we'll see what we got for the heat race. We'll put some good tires on it and see where we wind up. But soon find out as the night progresses.
So you got 4 brand new tires still to put on. You were doing 14.7.
Yeah, we got some tires we bought today, so we'll throw those on and see where it takes us. Still trying to find the balance. We're good. Pretty happy with the car. Could always be better though. So we got a little bit of work to do, but I don't think we're too far off.
Now, how's your season been going for the MRS Tour? How many races have you guys had, and where are you sitting in the points?
This is actually our first points-paying MRS race that we showed up to. They did the Loudon race and the race at Star last week, and unfortunately we weren't at either of them. We kind of bounced around, did some open stuff, and we planned on going to Star last week. We tore the car up at Seekonk on a Wednesday. We couldn't turn it around in time for Star, so got it back together. We're here at Wiscasset. It should be a good night of racing, and we'll score some good points tonight.
Now, you were telling me that the car faded quite a bit last year in this race. You ended up with 7th, but you were running close to the top 3 for the first half of the event.
Yeah, car was pretty fair last year. We fired off. We were a little too free to start. It's just hit or miss, the first time you come to a racetrack. You don't really have a notebook to go by, so, I mean, same thing. It's only our second trip here, so it's going to be a little bit of a crapshoot tonight, but I think we got it a lot better than last year, so we'll soon find out.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully you put 4 new sneakers on and you can pick up 3 or 4 tenths. And Matt Swanson is last year's winner. He's looking to go back-to-back undefeated.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll see at the end of 75 tonight. Hopefully have a little something for him. I mean, again, you don't know. I mean, they have a little bit better note package than we do, obviously, last year, pulling off a win. So, going to have to dig deep tonight, but we'll see what we got for him.
Next up, we got the 25 of Matt Swanson, the defending last year's Nor'easter 75 winner. And Matt, I was just saying over the PA, you just turned the fastest time. Now, you probably bolted on 4 sneakers and turned about half a second faster than you turned in practice too. So you feeling pretty good?
Yeah, no, that's kind of what you expect with these cars. It's just a matter of how much you actually pick up when you put tires on it. It's not something we normally do, and we know we have a really good package when we come up here to Wiscasset. So, all in all, I think we have a car just as good as we did last year. We just have to hope that everyone else is the same as they were last year too. The hardest part about this is it's not a place we come to often, so guys have a lot of time to do their homework and make their cars better. And I think we're better than we were last year, and hopefully it shows in the race.
Now, what were you meaning when you said not something you usually do? I was just talking to the 50, Carl. He said that he hasn't even put 4 on until the heat race, so is that something that you don't normally do?
Yeah, putting tires on isn't something we normally do. It's not about how fast you go, it's how good your car drives, and it needs to last for 75 laps. And so a lot of guys do it sometimes just to make themselves feel good, but we know we have a really good car, and hopefully it stays the same for all 75 laps.
So that's something that's a little bit new to me. that's normal to just wait for the heat race and put the brand new tires on, because in super late model racing, they'll kind of give them one last practice, but they'll call it the scuff session. So they typically scuff them before the heat. What do you guys do?
9 times out of 10, we'll go right out on stickers for whatever the heat race or the feature. Just different rules packages for different series. Some series you can have sticker emergency tires. Some series you can't. Here with MRS, you're not allowed to. So we just had to scuff ours. So no big deal. It makes us feel good for about 5 minutes, and then we go right back to work, getting the car ready to go for the race, because it doesn't pay anything to win practice. So just keeping our heads on the grindstone here, getting our car better, and like I said, just got to keep it good all day.
All right, so Matt, how has your season looked so far this year? Did you go to Loudon? Did you go to Star or other places like that?
Yeah, we were able to win the 10,000 win show at Seekonk a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week or the week before. And then we went to Star last weekend and ran third there. So I think we're really starting to gel really well as a team here. I haven't driven full-time for this 25 yet, so this is our first full season together. So we obviously knew there were going to be a couple learning curves and bumps along the way, and we think we overcame them pretty early here, and hopefully we can be contending for wins for the rest of the year.
All right, Matt Swanson, the defending winner last year. Good luck today.
Thank you, sir.
So we got the 47 of Jacob Perry here. He got third in last year's Nor'easter 75, and Jacob, you only got 4 laps of practice, so evidently you're relying on your notebook from last year. You feeling pretty good?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a bunch of old tires on for practice. We didn't go out and sticker up and make a bunch of mock runs like some of these other guys did. We just didn't have the funding to do it, so rely on the notebook. Went back out there. Car was comfortable on old race tires, so that's when you know you're in good shape. Practice doesn't pay anything, right? So when practice doesn't pay, you just got to go out, make sure the balance is good for lap 75. That's what's important. That's the lap that pays. So we went out, we were on about 100 lap old tires, so we know we're going to be in really, really good shape for lap 75. I'm really excited for tonight's Nor'easter 75. Huge thank you to Wiscasset Speedway and MRS for putting this on. It's one of my favorite tracks up in Maine, so I'm excited to try and get to Victory Lane this year.
Well, you you sounded like you had that already rehearsed. Doesn't give me a whole lot to ask you. But no, seriously, I kind of walked in on a little something going on with the MRS race director. What was going on there? Talking about something different for the heat races?
Yeah, totally new rule for this year, I guess. I literally just found out as you guys walked up, so I guess we do not have to run our race tires in the heat races, which in previous years you have to start the feature on your heat race tires. So at an abrasive place like this, it definitely gives me some strategy to play with. I'd rather go out, run the heat on my old stuff, and just kind of make what I can do in the heat race and then go from there. I'd like to have the extra 8-10 laps, whatever it is, on those stickers for when we go green, So it puts a different ball game to it. Makes me think a little bit more than I like to do. I'm not a thinker, I'm a driver, so I'll leave that up to the crew. I trust them, I trust their decision, but we're going to go win tonight. So I'm confident in it. I'm confident in the 47 car. 4 laps of practice, hand on the headrest, so we're in good shape.
All right, Jacob Perry, 3rd place finisher in last year's Nor'easter 75. Good luck today, my man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, last but not least, it's the 55 of Ryan Doucette. You got runner-up in this race last year. You feeling just as good as you were last year?
I'm feeling pretty confident after practice. The car's handling really well. A little loose on entry, but I think we can fix that for the heat race and hopefully hang on to it for the feature.
All right, so Ryan, how has your season looked this season running in the MRS Tour?
So far this year, we've been off to a great start. With the MRS, we finished 8th at Loudon and then 5th at Star last week. So we're on a bit of a hot streak. We've finished top 6 or better in the past 3 races. So looking forward to hopefully continuing that going into this race.
So were you at the Seekonk race? I think Matt was just telling us he picked up that 10K to win race.
Yep, we finished 6th there. There's a lot of competition with the Tri-Track series, and we were definitely surprised with how well we ran coming out of that race.
Well, that's awesome. Ryan, now be honest with me. Where does Wiscasset Speedway rank on, your favorite tracks?
When it comes to the main tracks, I think it's probably number 1. I mean, it would have been Beech Ridge, but unfortunately, they're no longer there. But this is probably my number 1 when it comes to Maine. I I mean, I've had a second here. It's my career best finish, so yeah, I like this place.
All right, so that's your career best modified finish, period. So still seeking that first feature win?
Yep, still trying to chase that checkered flag.
All right, Ryan Doucette, hopefully he can get that first career win. Second last year, and we wish you luck today.
Thank you.
And with that, a good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Everybody, welcome back home to Wiscasset Speedway on this beautiful Saturday afternoon as we welcome the good folks from Whited Equipment as our race sponsor today, and we also welcome the MRS Modified Racing Series. And as always, we'll turn things over for your heat race action with my partner in crime, Nick Huff.
And we want to thank Racing America for broadcasting live today. Let's go racing. Thank you, folks, for tuning in on Racing America. We are green flag and trouble right off the bat. 3 wide, and Landon Tapley almost goes in the backstretch wall. Nice save by him, and we are clean and clear. Looks like he has broken down, and he's going to head to the pits. Everybody was stacking up behind him, and they got a piece of his left rear bumper. Brady Romano leads the first couple circuits. On to lap 3. Joe Harriman looking to the outside of Brady Romano down the back chute, but he falls back in single file entering turn 3 because he's got the 27 of Scott Eck right there as well. Three-car breakaway as Alex Cromwell holds on to the 4th position, a few car lengths back away from the top 3. Brady Romano, the awfully nice guy that he is, gives up the inside line, and Joe Harriman claims the top spot now, coming to see 2 laps. That's halfway, actually. Halfway flags in the air. Joe Harriman in the 20, your new leader. And Scott Eck will follow in the 27. Brady Romano led the first 4 circuits, but now holds on to 3rd. Alex Cromwell still holding down 4th with a side-by-side battle right behind him. It is Zach Emerson in the 23 and Dan McKeag Jr. in the 40. Emerson moves into the top 5. Emerson's going to work on Cromwell to try to take over 4th as Joe Harriman sees the 2 laps to go marker this time. Single file. Joe Harriman, Scott Eck, Brady Romano, your top 3. Alex Cromwell trying to fend off Jonathan Emerson in the 23. White flag flies, and the closest battle is for that 4th spot. Emerson is putting the pressure on the back of that orange number 96. 2 corners left to do it. I don't think he can make it. Harriman picks up the heat win. Second qualifier for the Portland Glass Strictly Streets. Looking for the green now. Sean Emery in the 13, utilizing the inside. Kurt Hewen settles right in behind him. Caleb Emerson in the 4. Matt Cannon Jr. on his tail. Making up the top 5 is Ed Pierpont in that 34X. Debut for 2023. Surprisingly, doesn't look like Hewens has much for that 13 car today. Emery putting on a clinic. Oh, tough break for Pierpont on his debut of the season. He'll head to the pits early. Emery, out of Limerick, continues to lead this one. Kurt Hewins holds down second. Caleb Emerson, he picked up his first career win a few weeks ago in that 4-car, comfortably in third. And as Ken mentioned, the most recent Strictly Street winner is in that Fisher Plows number 08 in fourth, Matt Cannon Jr. Now up into the top 5 is the 07 of Mark Grantham. I believe that is Mark Grantham's first visit to the track this season in the orange number 07. We're at 3 laps to go on this lap, coming around for the Popsicle Sticks 2 in the air, and Hewins looks like he's closing up the gap in the late running. Kurt Hewins in the Dave's World, sand and gravel number 55, closing it up to less than a car length on Sean Emery. 1 lap to go now at the line. Two more corners to go for the second Portland Glass Company Strictly Street Heat Race. This one's going to go to Sean Emery. So we got Joe Harriman and Sean Emery picking up the 2 qualifiers for the Strictly Streets.
Welcome to the microphone, Mr. Andy Austin.
Let's do a chest bump, Ken. How you guys doing? Good afternoon. Welcome to the Modified Racing Series portion of weekly racing here at Wiscasset Speedway. Atop the starter stand, we look for the green flag. 10 laps the distance off of turn number 4. Green is in the air, and we are racing. Milton Cad Modifieds in through the dirt. It's car number 02. Mike Collins slips back just a little bit. Here they come off of turn number 4, all by himself, pacing the field. Mark Batke down the back straightaway. A lot of these drivers real excited to be here at Wiscasset today after driving 3 and 4 hours just to get here. Many of these race teams hail from Connecticut and Massachusetts. Trouble for one driver, and that's kind of expected too. Derek Roby pulls off of the racetrack. They had rear end problems at the very beginning of the afternoon. They only made a couple of laps in practice, and since they're in it for the points this year, instead of packing up and calling it a night, the Roby team making minimal laps just to get some points here for the 2023 Milton Cad Championships. Batke down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Cross flags in the air. 5 down, 5 to go. Good battle now for second. The 2 drivers who finished 1 and 2 last year, Matt Swanson and Ryan Doucette, currently swapping it out for position number 2. If you're watching the race from the turn number 2 grandstands, watch how the 25 gets that extra bite off the corner. You can see, and these drivers really rely on the right rear, and you can see it go to work here on the 25 down the front straightaway. It just seems to sit a little lower than the other competitors. They might have found an advantage here early on. With 2 laps to go, Swanson's now up to second. Medeiros up to third. And if you thought to yourself, well, I thought you said the 50 was the fastest driver in practice. Yes, that is the case, but they have to draw for their position, so the heat starting lineups are not set by practice. Set by draw. Matt Swanson now rides in second. The Gary Casella, number 25, on the charge. He'll go to the outside in turn number 3. Red 25, defending champion, pulls it off the corner. Checkered flag out, but it's not going to be enough. Here we go, turn number 4. Green flag is officially in the air and we're racing. Alexander pulls it off of turn number 2, roars down the back straightaway now. Cannot come down and protect the inside line, peels it off of turn number 4. Something that is extremely key for these modified drivers is the repave in turn number 4. Many of them consider that the honeypot. If they can get to that spot, extra grip off the corner, especially with these very sensitive race cars that really, really work well with the right rear. You can burn through a right rear if you do not conserve. The interesting ripple about tonight's race is that it is not a 150 lapper, it is not 100 laps, it's 75 laps. Gas and go. All show here tonight, but you still have to conserve. One driver who's doing 0 of that in the qualifying race, laying down some big laps. A sub 15-second lap that time for Kirk Alexander. Alexander leads it at the cross flags, works his way off of turn number 2. Has a nice advantage over Iannarelli. Iannarelli with a distant third, back to car number 17 for Donnie Lashua. Lashua has some history here at Wiscasset. He was part of the Big Dog Weekend in 2004. He was running with Fenders that weekend, running a pro stock. But says he is amazed at the changes in this facility since that weekend, as he continues to marvel at the improvement of Wiscasset, both aesthetically and the way that you race it has certainly changed over the years too. So whether he's running a pro stock or running a sleeveless race car, Donnie Lashua running strong inside the top 3 as they enter turn number 3. White flag out, 1 to go. It's all Kirk Alexander. Alexander, who's been racing modified since the mid-90s, multiple track championships, a ton of wins. Can he add Wiscasset to the list tonight? He wins qualifying race number 2. Kevin Iannarelli finishes second, followed by Lashua, Martel, Jarvis.
Nick Huff will pick it up from here as the pace car heads for the infield.
Kennebec Equipment Rental, Outlaw Minis. Trouble right off the bat for the 16 of Ian Fraser. He pulls out of line, and Zach Audette threads up through the middle 3 wide to move into third in a hurry, and looks like he's going to keep it going into second rather quick around Kyle Willett. And another turn passed, and Zach Audette is quickly up front around the 12 of Jason Kimball. Audette's teammate of Kyle Willett looking to follow on the high side. Still, door handle to door handle coming out of turn 2. Willett with the advantage going into 3 in the Acura Integra number 08. Zach Audette checking out. Mr. Excitement in car number 19. Willett solidifies second by clearing Jason Kimball in the Volkswagen. And here comes the 41 of Larry Melcher. Less than a car length behind the 12. He's looking to crack the top 3 as they come around to see the halfway flags. This time for Zach Audette, it'll be 4 laps to go. Kyle Willett quite comfortably in the second position. Jason Kimball starting to pick it back up a notch. and distance himself from Larry Melcher, as Melcher was less than a car length, but now they've stretched it to about 2 or 3 car lengths between them. And then the 0X of Jeff Farrington makes up your top 5, as Ian Fraser, he had trouble right off the bat, and now he's ready to head pit side early in the 16. Two laps left for Zach Audette. And this time he'll see the white flag wave over the Outlaw Minis. The Outlaw Minis, brought to you by Kennebec Equipment Rental. Their one and only heat is going to go to Mr. Excitement, Zach Audette. And his teammate follows behind Kyle Willett in the 08. And the Pete McCollett-owned ride, number 12, Jason Kimball, takes 3rd.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but we had the 4th generation of the Renos. Young Reed Reno was practicing that number 7 car yesterday with a cool picture of his dad, his grandfather, and his great-grandfather, Lawrence Reno, all looking from the back wall.
Oh, trouble with Faith Cleaves. She goes hard into the turn 1 wall, and that's a red flag right off the bat for the modifieds. I think I missed that one. I'm really not sure if there was any contact. All right, so she is telling the officials there that she's pretty sure the throttle's stuck on her modified. I didn't think that there was any contact or rough racing there, and she says her throttle's stuck. Very unfortunate, hitting the turn 1 wall very hard. All right, 0 laps complete. We're ready to try this one once again with Steve Reno and Garrett McKee. Nice slingshot move by Garrett McKee. Didn't quite get the gap that he was hoping down the backstretch, but through turn 1 it looked pretty strong. Steve Reno fights back in the 7, and he'll take over the top spot with McKee settling in single file down on the inside curb. Scott Trask in the 99 stays right up tight with the top 2. Gaining a comfortable cushion on Mike Brown and Doug Phillips. And I don't think Scott Trask is done just yet. He was right up tight on that rear bumper in the middle of 1 and 2. I think he checked up just a little bit not to get into the back of McKee. Top 3 cars, nose to tail. They're coming around for the halfway flags. 5 laps to go for Steve Reno. Garrett McKee feeling a little confident that time, and he tries the outside once again, but can't make it through, work through 1 and 2, and settles back in going into 3. Doug Phillips is going to head pit side with 3 to go this time. They are starting to really tighten it up. McKee feeling confident once again, and he's going to open it up for Scott Trask. That might not have been a very good move. 2 laps to go this time, and they're side by side for second. McKee's got some good momentum on the high side, and he's challenging Reno now for the top spot. White flags in the air this time. Garrett McKee holding strong. Reno gets a half a car length on him down the back chute, and the checker flag's gonna be flying this time. It's gonna be Steve Reno in the 7. Nice even start all the way through the pack. But down the back chute, Reno's gonna break free from Tyler Robbins, and Chadbourne's gonna fill the hole. Tyler Robbins might get hung out to dry here. Chadbourne gets by, and Ryan Ripley to follow in the 09. Tyler Robbins is gonna fall back to 4th. Oh, a tough break for Robbins. He loses another one to Wayne Witten, and he still can't get to the bottom. Contact going into turn 3. Bobby Messimer stuck it in there. Robbins stayed on the high side just a half a second too long, and Bobby Messimer got his nose inside, and Robbins tried to come down going into turn 3. We remain green still. Messimer's gonna go a couple laps down, but finally the yellow flag flies as Messimer cannot get it rolling. One lap shy of halfway. Let's see the green flag. Another awesome start by the front row. This time Ripley is able to hang on the high side. And he's got a fender out front going into 3 and 4. Five laps left. And it's a dead heat down the backstretch with Adam Chadbourne ready to pounce as well for whichever groove makes a move. Reno goes up high and won just a little bit, making it ever so difficult for Ryan Ripley to run on the top side, and Chadbourne continues to maintain up close. A bobble going into 1 by Ripley all by himself that time, and he gives up the second spot to Adam Chadbourne. Ripley back to 3rd, 3 cars under a blanket coming to 2 to go. The only place to pass is on the high side right now. Those other guys are glued right to the bottom. For a moment, Ripley was looking high, but Chadbourne just opened up the door. Things are definitely heating up here in the final 2 laps. Nick Reno looking to fend him off side by side right in the rear view mirror. Heat 2 is going to go to Nick Reno. We're going green with Moulton and Emerson. Close quarters there between Matchett and Waltz, the 17 and the 00. Going into turn 1, Waltz had Matchett just about jacked up on the rear bumper. And I think that may have hindered the row 2 from keeping up with the front row. We've already got a pretty sizable gap between those top 2 of Frank Moulton and Jonathan Emerson and the rest of the field. Moulton clears Emerson, and Emerson follows in behind, staying up tight on the back of the 15. They're still side by side for 3rd place though. Silas Ripley and Chris Matchett. Silas Ripley is going to take over 3rd. Matchett falls back to 4th and settles in behind. They're side by side for 5th and 6th with Brent Roy and Alex Waltz. Tiger Colby in the 78, ready to pounce right behind that 5th place battle. Colby just recently rejoined us at Wiscasset a couple weeks ago. Five laps complete, 5 to go, and Frankie Moulton is checking out from the pack. Frankie Moulton checking off 15.9 second lap times. .1 last time around for Moulton, and a 16.3 for Jonathan Emerson. Silas Ripley and Chris Matchett closing in on second. This time around, Frankie Moulton is going to see 2 laps to go, but that 2nd and 3rd and 4th place battle is really heating up. Oh baby, we got a barn burner for 2nd and 3rd. Silas Ripley brings it up alongside wheel to wheel on the high side. Frankie Moulton's going to get the white flag now. And Silas Ripley's making it look easy on the outside. He clears Jonathan Emerson and solidifies the 2nd place. Coming to the checkered flag, this one's going to Frank Moulton. Let's do it. Another 10 laps for Heat 2 for the late models. Will Collins fires off strong, and he quickly puts 3 car lengths between him and Pat Murphy. Now here comes Shane Clark on the high side in the 21. Shane Clark drifts awfully high coming out of turn 4, and they go 3 wide down the front stretch. Clark falls back to 5th in a hurry as DC Alexander is coming on through in the 30. The most recent feature winner in that 47 is Chris Burgess. DC Alexander just drove by him in a hurry for 3rd. DC Alexander with his season debut at the track, looking stout right off the bat in 3rd position. Will Collins still holding down the top spot. He'll see the halfway flags this time at the line. Pat Murphy holding down 2nd. As Chris Burgess was the most recent feature winner, and that was his first official late model feature win. It was also Pat Murphy's first podium finish in a late model in the 86. And Pat Murphy showing him that it wasn't a fluke. He's still running up towards the front in this one, maintaining with Will Collins. Trouble for a couple of cars dropping out early. Jet Decker and Brett Osman are out of this one now. Two laps left to wrap this one up. It's Will Collins, Pat Murphy, and DC Alexander under the white flag. In the closing, Shane Clark is finding a second win now on the high side. Side by side for 4th and 5th, coming to the checkered flag. This one is Will Collins. All right.
Turn our attention to turn 4. Green flag is out and we're underway. Log jam on the low side. Fast on the outside. Everything good. Jeremy Glazier gets kicked out of line at the end and finds some asphalt once again to race on. Joe Harriman leading the way. Scott Eck. Little bit of a break back to Brady Romano in the 78. He's got Zach Emerson on his tail. First car on the outside is Alex Cromwell in the 96. Looked at 3 wide for a moment coming out of turn 4, but everything settles back in. Zach Emerson takes third. Brady Romano having trouble in the 78, starting to stack up some traffic behind him. Here comes Kurt Hewins as they're 3 wide into turn 1. Everybody's scrambling for some real estate. The fast guys starting to pick their way up from the back of the field. Kurt Hewins is a couple of cars together in turn 4. Chuck Wagstaff in the 31, Brady Romano in the 78. This time Brady able to keep it off the concrete. But you see the right front damage on the 31 of Wagstaff. Lights off on the pace car. Harriman and Eck ready to get back at it. Flagman Nate Sennett gives them the green. Once again, Joe Harriman up to the task, shakes off the challenge from Scott Eck, put the 20 car back in command. Eck holding on for second. Championship drivers side by side for the third spot. Zach Emerson and Kurt Hewins. Hewins kind of a slip out of turn 3 into turn 3. And actually things starting to go sour on that 20 of Harriman. Sounds like he's having some issues under the hood of that number 20 as Scott Eck takes the lead. Drivers lining up on the low side. Eck up into the lead. Emerson follows into second. Hewins helps him out of the turn and moves up into the third spot on the inside. Kurt Hewins started this race back in 12th, and he's already raced his way up into the third position. Brings the 14 of Reynolds to 4th. Hannon now to 5th. Harriman really struggling on the outside. Scott Eck now with a comfortable margin up to 0.8 of a second over Zach Emerson. Emerson has only 1 podium appearance to his credit so far this year, but has been in the top 5 the last 3 straight races. Kurt Hewins missed the last race. Now jumps to the outside of Emerson for a try on second. Again, Emerson and Hewins wheel to wheel for the second position. Scott Eck stretching out his lead to nearly a second now. Got it up over a second, but Hewins is in the clear now in second. He's got some clean racetrack up ahead as they hit the halfway marker this time by. A little bit further back now, Zach Emerson trying to protect third as Ashton Reynolds is right behind him. Reynolds in the 14, Hannon holding 5th in the 08. Single file, but Kurt Hewins now starting to eat into that lead. He's got it down to a half a second. Again, Hewins about 0.2 faster than the leader that last time. Kurt looking for his first win of the season. Coming down to these two guys now. Hewins has caught him, looks up to the high side. Eck will give him all the racetrack he wants up on the high side. They'll go even up down into turn number 3. Hewins on the outside, Eck on the low side. Zach Emerson still in control of third, but that battle continues up front. Hewins inching out around the outside of Scott Eck. Hewins takes the lead that time. 46/100ths of a second, the interval at the line that time. They're out of half a straightaway over the third place car. Kurt Hewins completes the pass. Put the 55 car up into the lead, looking for his first win of the season with 5 laps to go. Starting to pull away now. Couple car lengths over Scott Eck. Eck looking to match his best finish of the season in the 27. Driving the Daisy Valley 27 for Dave Brandon. Third place still yet to be sorted out. Ashton Reynolds has been right there on the back bumper of the 23 for much of the race, but has not tried the outside, content to ride in the tire tracks of the 23 up to now. This time by 2 laps to go on the 55 of Kurt Hewins. Hewins looking to become the 5th different winner in this class here in 2023. Josh St. Clair, the only repeat winner here in the street stock division. And White Laundry ready to fly one more time around. 3/8 of a mile to go for Kurt Hewins. Plenty of open racetrack up ahead and no challengers behind. Dare I say, a patient race for Kurt Hewins. Pays off from 12th to the feature win. Hewins takes the checkered flag. Scott Eck will cross the line in second. Zach Emerson takes third. So let's send things down trackside to Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane. Nick Huff has got your winner.
Yeah, that's right. He's already climbed out, but let him hear it, folks. Kurt Hewins. Kurt, a little bit late in the stride this season as opposed to last year. I think you got a couple feature wins last year, and it certainly didn't take you this long to get to the front. Tell us about it.
Yeah, just trying to be patient this year, and whatever, we took the last race off to go to a wedding. Got to try to make it up, right?
Yep.
That's why we're here. Got to thank Dave St. Clair, Todd, my boy Ryan, Bauer and Miller, everybody that helps me. Buddy, my dad's here tonight. Just got to thank everybody that helps.
Yeah, talking about that patience, we're definitely not seeing you go 3 wide as much as we did last year. Is that that's part of it?
Well, after you whack that third turn wall, it kind of, you think about it a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right, Kurt Hewins finally lands a win in 2023. And then Scott Eck almost got his first career win, I believe. Ken, did you say that? No? Did he win last year? All right, my bad. Scott, well, it would have been your first win of this season. You got 1 win last year, and it was a good side-by-side race with Kurt there.
Yeah, he definitely had the better car. Car started going away towards the latter end of the race. I can't thank my family enough for doing this. My dad, Dave, Mac, my wife and kids over there, you know, they help on this thing all the time. Couldn't be here without them. I just got to say, Zach beat me in the parade earlier today, and he made sure I knew it, so I guess this one matters a little more. But yeah, I got to thank my sponsors, Final Finish Ceramic Coating, Pratt Electric, Lone Jack Customs, AutoFab, and Megawatt Lounge. Couldn't do this without them.
All right, nice run for Scott Eck with his best finish of the season so far. And then Zach Emerson, I'm sure you were hoping for a caution. They got away quite a bit there.
No, I didn't want a caution. That's where we should have finished tonight. We just didn't quite have the car. I don't know what it is. I'm sitting here wheeling my car, and Kurt's just out on the outside just like he's on cruise control today. Scott was really good too, so I had nothing for them guys. Like thank crew, we've struggled the last few weeks. I mean, we've done a lot of work, tore up a lot of stuff. I can't thank the guys in the pit area enough, all of them. Like thank my sponsors, Yankee Yard Works, Emerson Pilot Cars, ABG Heating, Emerson's Garage, everybody that helps out. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. I'd just thank everybody. Wiscasset, the fans for showing up. Most importantly, this is the first top 3 I've had since we had a friend of ours, a good friend of the family, almost like a grandmother to me, pass away, Janice Hodgkins. This one's the Hodgkins family.
All right, Zach Emerson with his first top 3 of the season. Scott Eck with his best finish of the year so far. Kurt Hewins with his first win. And yeah, up next is the Nor'easter 75. So that'll wrap it up with Coastal Auto Parts Napa Victory Lane. Back up to you guys in the booth.
2 years ago, it was 100 laps. Last year, cut to 75. And there was no riding around for the Modified Racing Series last year. You could not take a single lap off. And fans, you will be treated to one exciting event here momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing for the Nor'easter 75 and the Milton Cap Modified Racing Series. Tonight's main event brought to you by Whited Peterbilt of Maine. And again, a nice warm welcome. Big round of applause for each and every one of these drivers as we introduce them from the back to the front. Starting in position number 15, battling some major mechanical issues tonight, but getting to the starting line. The journey has been a long one for the driver out of Bellingham, Massachusetts. Give it up for Derek Roby. Starting position number 14, one of the leading rookies in the Modified Racing Series this year out of Hillsborough, New Hampshire. The Fleet Incorporated Teddy's T ZTR number 23 for Brad Zahensky. 2 years ago, he was in Victory Lane and one of the fastest open-wheel drivers in northern New England will go off next. Car number 25NH, the RHR construction driver out of Sunapee, New Hampshire. This is Brian Roby. Car number 04 will go off next. This is a driver who comes to tonight's starting lineup in position number 12. Car number 04 belongs to Jarvis. Excuse me, Joey Jarvis on that one. Car number 02 will start next. Car number 2 will go off next. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the driver out of Stratford, New Hampshire, the Harlan Electric Ride. This is Mike Collins. Car number 93, the Station Road Auto Body and Garage Incorporated ride out of Upton, Massachusetts. Give it up for the veteran George Sherman. Car number 47 goes next. The RaceChoice.com competition engine sponsored ride for 21-year-old Jacob Perry. Jacob, third place runner last year. Car number 18 starts next. The Blue Diamond Dental sponsored ride out of Charlestown, New Hampshire. This is Andrew Martell. Last year, position number 2 in the finishing order. Trying to up it by 1 here tonight. The GFA Arms Tech Com sponsored ride, also sponsored by JDR Motorsports out of Framingham, Massachusetts. This is Ryan Doucette. Car number 50 goes next. One of the fastest drivers in practice and backed it up with a solid qualifying run. The No Way Auto Rod out of Westport, Massachusetts. This is Carl Madeiros. Car number 17 will get it done next. The Bill Doucette Building Jack's Competition Engine sponsored ride. The multi-time driver who was a champion at the Canaan Speedway out of Canaan, New Hampshire. This is Donnie Lashua. Car number 27 goes next. Out of Shirley, Massachusetts, the iRacing ride for Kevin Inarelli. Car number 25 will start position number 3. Last year, the winner of this race and current point leader in the Milton Cat Modified Racing Series. Give it up for Matt Swanson. The 2007 champion of this series will go off on the outside of row number 1, car number 76. The Bell Septic Tank Service sponsored ride out of Swansea, New Hampshire. This is Kirk Alexander. And going pole position, driving car number 52, ultra fast in qualifying. Give it up for Mark Buckeye. That is your starting lineup for the Nor'easter 75 at Wiscasset Speedway. Drivers, prepare your cars for competition.
All right, guys, I got some very special guests for this one tonight. Our faithful leaders, Richard and Vanessa Jordan, are going to fire these guys up. Take it away.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
The man on the flag stand, this is Bobby Blanchette waving the colors here tonight. And a big thank you to the staff at Wiscasset Speedway, who have been great hosts to the Modified Racing Series this afternoon and really making us feel at home in our 3rd annual trip. Starting in turn number 4, this is where you come in, ladies and gentlemen. Find the driver that you've connected with the most this afternoon and send them on their way by getting on your feet, waving your hand, waving your phone. Drivers, we salute you! 75 laps here at Wiscasset Speedway. Bringing them to speed, car number 52, Mark Buckeye, off of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air, we're racing! Trouble on the start. Couple of drivers, one hard into the wall and will be under caution here. Green flag is set to fly. What happens? Green is out. We're underway. Contact on the start, but the leader takes off now. Has Kirk Alexander wheeling it from the outside. Car number 76 up into group number 2. He's smooth off the corner. Getting to the throttle a little quicker off of turn number 2. Kirk Alexander doing exactly what he did in the qualifying race. Puts that car number 76 up in front. Screams down the front straight away on lap number 2. Top 2 have broken away nicely. You have the number 52 of Mark Buckeye running in second, then a long way back to Swanson. Now Matt Swanson, who's the current point leader, had an issue with 52 of Buckeye coming to green. I'm not sure if that messed with the handle of his race car. As the leader sets the pace, the front row doesn't set the pace here with the Modified Racing Series. The leader sets the pace, so the car on the inside of the front row. And with contact running from the 3rd starting position, that might have had something. And now Jacob Perry goes down to the inside. Good battle developing for spot number 4. The white 47 Jack Bateman powered ride. Carl Medeiros losing time on the outside. Perry gets by, and now here comes car 04. Joey Jarvis in car 04. Grew up watching his uncle, and almost trouble that time off of turn number 2. Some tense moments between the 02 and the 50. And they gather it back up, still side by side off of turn number 4, but getting back to Jarvis. Another driver strong in racing tradition. With both his father and his uncle, grew up here at the racetrack. Not necessarily at this one. But look at Jacob Perry now. Perry is moving. The driver who has made the biggest gains inside the top 6 throughout the first 10 laps of this race is Jacob Perry. Perry in the white 47 moves to spot number 3. He's going to bring Jarvis with him. Joey Jarvis down the back straightaway. And now Kyle Medeiros tries the inside. A big bunch of cars off of turn number 4. Meanwhile, Kirk Alexander continues to lengthen out his lead. It's about a 20-car length advantage over 52 of Mark Mackay. Battle is for third. We talk about drivers who are not wasting a single moment. How about that 04 of Jarvis down the back straightaway? Jarvis has moved from 5th to 3rd in just the last couple of laps. Jacob Perry rides in spot number 4, single file all the way through the running order now. Kyle Medeiros in the number 50, riding just inside. And one must wonder what's up with early favorite Brian Roby. Roby's running mid-pack, right behind Swanson. Brian Roby mired in 8th spot. But something tells me by law of averages we're going to have a caution flag at some point. So there's really, if I'm Brian Roby, there's no use for me, there's no good for me to burn up my tires right now when we're going to get a caution flag and eventually bunch them up. You can make marginal gains, but right now, holding it down nicely right behind another number 25, who I don't say I guarantee you, but I would not be a bit surprised to see Matt Swanson on pit road if we get a caution flag. Looks like he's really battling that race car. It looks super tight through 1 and 2. And one of the advantages the Modified Racing Series felt coming into this race is the fact that they're running their feature during daylight hours. So even though the track has cooled about 20 to 25 degrees since they were running practice sessions at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they were at least somewhat like their practice weather conditions. It's not like they're running at night. So maybe the 25 did not adjust to the conditions as much as that team wanted to, as he stays put right behind Mike Collins in car number 02. Meanwhile, Kirk Alexander now has a big lead. He's had one since the drop of the green flag. Coming up on lap number 22, car number 76. Who did not expect to win here tonight. Certainly would have been happy with a top 5 finish, but thinking more 4th or 5th. He is really laying it down here in turn number 4. Mark Mackay in car 52 rides next, followed by Joey Jarvis in the number 04. And Jarvis was one of those guys that we were talking to this afternoon about, okay, so you're not a Mainer, but what do you like about the state of Maine? And 90% of the drivers I asked that question to immediately would mention a racetrack. Maybe it's Wiscasset. Maybe it was Beech Ridge when that was open. They really enjoyed running there. I said, well, do you do anything besides racing when you're in the state of Maine? There's a lot of cool things to do. First thing out of Joey Jarvis's mouth was, oh yeah, you guys have a great Cabela's. I said, you know, if we finish this race early enough, you might be able to catch last call at Cabela's on the way home because we put that sucker right on the highway. Down the back straightaway, Jacob Perry runs in spot number 5. 47 now feeling the heat from Collins, who has really turned things up the last half dozen laps. He takes a peek to the inside going into turn number 1, nothing there. Now Matt Swanson comes alive on the outside, arrives out in group number 2. Matt Swanson, the red car, fast in practice, considered one of the favorites here. He tried the outside line. It did not work to his advantage, and now he is on the defense as Brian Roby has come alive in the other number 25, the black 25. He's going to try the outside down the front straightaway. Swanson is done waiting around. Passing 2 cars in 1 lap, the Gary Casella number 25 for Matt Swanson. 30 laps into this race, Matt Swanson, fastest driver on the racetrack, but he needs to make up a half a lap if he's going to have any shot at the victory without the aid of a caution flag. While this goes on, Mike Collins goes down to the inside. Collins side by side with Jacob Perry. The handling going away for car number 47. Approaching the middle stages of the race, you're seeing some major comers and goers. Jacob Perry gained 3 spots in a couple of laps, but fast forward about a dozen laps or so, and he lost the same spot. You can see him fighting the handle on that race car. Racing America doing a great job of documenting that. For those in person, our live audience, keep your eye on that white number 47. He is under attack from Brian Roby off of turn number 4. They have left, and I say they, being Collins and Swanson, they have left Perry in the dust. Brian Roby right there as well. The black car now goes to the top side, drawing it up nearly, well, not even. Couldn't get the head of steam down the front straightaway, but Roby is there and ready to pounce. Modified Racing Series brought to you by Milton Cat. Going around, leaders going around some lap traffic. Your leader all by himself, Kirk Alexander, will be working into heavier lap traffic within the next dozen laps or so. You know, for a guy that has such a huge lead, he is still one of the top 3 fastest drivers on the racetrack. Your fastest driver last time by was Mike Collins in car number 02. So the white car on the front straightaway back into turn 1 is the fastest guy on the racetrack. Second fastest right now is your leader, Kirk Alexander. Meanwhile, further on up in the pack, Brian Roby trying the inside on Jacob Perry. 25 and 47 side by side. Perry will lose another spot. Brian Roby moving up. Brian Roby, the winner of this race in 2021. And now teammates running side by side. Something miss big time on Jacob Perry's car. He is just aching for a caution. Donnie Lashua goes down to the inside. Lashua gets the spot. Next in line is going to be the 55 on the comeback trail. Remember, he was in the caution on the initial start for Ryan Doucette. Doucette will now look down to the inside of Jacob Perry. He's going to gain that spot. And what a rally for Ryan Doucette. From nearly in the wall to inside the top 10. What a charge by car number 55 tonight. Perry now outside the top 10, back up to the leaders. It is Kirk Alexander. Alexander working his way into turn number 1. He's the black 76. Been in the lead since lap number 1. Coming up on number 23, Brad Sahensky. Sahensky, one of the leading rookie candidates this year in the Milton Cat Modified Racing Series. Perry loses another spot. Just really hoping for a caution flag. And wouldn't it be something, I would not be a bit surprised to see a driver with the talent level of Jacob Perry to get a caution flag, make the right adjustments, and with 25 laps to go, really make some noise in this field. All he needs to do is stay on the lead lap, but that's becoming a taller and taller order as the laps continue to click off. Perry in danger of going down a lap to leader Alexander. Brian Roby all by himself trying to close in on Mike Collins. Now Collins continues to be the fastest race car on the track. He's outside the top 5, the 0-2. 25, the other 25, red 25, defending champion Matt Swanson riding with Jarvis. Before too long, we're going to see a battle for second spot. 52 of Mark Bakai has been there since basically the drop of the green flag, but he is being swallowed up by Joey Jarvis. Jarvis in the blue car looking down to the inside in turn number 4. Excellent battle for spot number 2. Blue car on the charge. Here comes Jarvis. Bakai closes him down, and here comes Matt Swanson. A 3-way race for second spot off of turn 4. Jarvis gets the whole shot. Bottom groove all by himself. Matt Swanson can put the race car wherever he wants it. He's been on the outside. Now he's down low, and Swanson now moves up into spot number 3. Everybody chasing Kirk Alexander, the black car, off of turn number 4. 76 still shows the way by nearly a half track length. Alexander with his own brand of wax. Such a big lead, waxing this field through 3 and 4. So now with clear sailing ahead of them and 22 laps to go, what can Matt Swanson do with Joey Jarvis? Alexander is your leader, but the battle of the race currently for second spot. Locked onto the back bumper. Little contact in turn number 3 that time. Here comes Swanson. Drivers from 2nd through 7th just begging for a caution flag to have a shot at Alexander. I don't think Kirk Alexander has burned up his race car one bit. But still, it would be a completely different race with different dynamics if the caution were to come out. But yet, with 19 laps to go, that Perry breaks loose a little bit. Thought we might have something there. And Perry really, the handle, he's visibly fighting that race car through 1 and 2. What's turned into a nightmare 75 laps for car 47. Jarvis and Swanson continue to swap it for second spot. And they are catching your leader. But then again, Kirk Alexander really doesn't have to push that go button as of yet. If anything, he has dropped off about 0.3 of a second in the last 6 laps. Side by side for second. There goes Swanson to the outside. Matt Swanson has been making moves down low. Now he goes to the top side. Again, able to put that car wherever he wants it. The red number 25 had dropped outside of the top 5 and now reigns in position number 2. But he's got a long way to go. Oh, trouble for Perry. Gets way out of the groove. Slides up the racetrack, but gathers it back up. He's down a lap to the leaders and now in heavy traffic in turn number 4. You can see him just sawing at the wheel. Kirk Alexander, who in 2007 was the champion of this division, has been running modified since 1996. A stout competitor. at the Claremont Speedway in Monadnock, but has certainly made some racing waves here tonight and in a position that I don't think that he expected. Kirk Alexander wheels it off a turn number 2. This time by 10 laps to go. 65 laps up on the scoreboard for car number 76. Meanwhile, Matt Swanson in heavy lap traffic. He has put some big distance between himself and Joey Jarvis. But Swanson having a hard time getting around number 23. Brad Sahensky. Sahensky now lets the 25 by, and Swanson with Claire sailing ahead of him, but a long way to go. He has narrowed it down, though. Trouble in turn number 2. One driver slides through the infield. It's Donnie Lashua. Brand new race. There goes Kirk Alexander's gigantic lead. Leader sets the pace. 2 veterans going after it. Green flag is out. We're racing. It's a drag race down the backstretch, and it's all Kirk Alexander now. Swanson, don't count him out. Right on the back bumper. Swanson ready to do work on the inside. Matt Swanson is right there. It looks like his move is going to be on the inside. He is getting into turn 3 much better than Kirk Alexander. Is he getting off the corner? About as equal. The move of this race, the crucial move, is going to be into the corner based on the way the second place driver is running. Faster into the corner each time, 1 and 3. Swanson tries to move it. Alexander goes wide. Here goes Matt Swanson down to the inside. Side by side for the lead. Brand new leader with 4 laps to go. It's Matt Swanson. Swanson was warned by Billy Blanchette as he did get together with Alexander to get the lead, but he is certainly driven away. Side by side for third. Brian Roby has come alive. And Joey Jarvis on the inside, the blue car, with 2 laps to go. Last weekend at Star Speedway, he emerged as the driver from the Modified Racing Series to garner the most points. The driver who has signed up to race with this series this year. And with his father, John Swanson, as his spotter, his eyes in the sky, they have made crucial moves to get themselves in position to win this race for the 2nd year in a row. Your winner of the MRS 75 is Matthew Swanson, Kirk Alexander, and Joey Jarvis.
Boy, these things, if you do not see them every single week, and you're a youngster, get up close, look at these race cars, these open wheel race cars. This is what it's all about. Pure racing, good stuff all around. 75 laps, and he needed most of them to get to the lead. He was nearly half track, and he's getting out of the race car. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Matt Swanson! Matt, come over here. Congratulations. You got it? Right on. Hey, you dropped the checker flag. That's fine. You didn't drop the race. You made one incredible comeback. The first part of the race not going well for you, though.
Yeah, no, I knew it was going to be a battle of the tires there. For some reason, the surface here at Wiscasset's just way more abrasive than we remembered it being last year. And, that's definitely something we took into account earlier during practice. And, what an unbelievable 2 weeks, man. We won $10,000 2 weeks ago at Seekonk Speedway with Tri-Track, and then to defend our win here at Wiscasset with the MRS. It's just unbelievable. Again, hats off to all these guys. Gary Casella, Mully, and this whole team. Connor and Jack, they couldn't be there at Seekonk. Stetson, Charlie, Paul, Joby, Bob,
just to everyone. I want to actually dedicate this one. My brothers are at home. It's my brother Greg's birthday today, so I just want to say happy birthday to him. Wish they were all here, and just wish my girlfriend was here. I wish a lot of people were here to enjoy this with us, but we'll enjoy this one and move on to the next one.
He came in as the point leader. He will leave as the point leader, and for the second year in a row, he is the winner of the Nor'easter 75. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Swanson is your winner! Let's go to second place here. Kirk Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for a guy who dominated much of this afternoon. Now, we spoke before the race this afternoon, and you didn't expect to be here in the top 3.
No, we had an awesome car when we unloaded. I was pacing myself. It looked like we were out front, slow up, but we did slow up quite a bit. I knew Matt was going to be good and tried to hold him back at the end, but, obviously we ended up second. But real happy for the team. These guys put a lot of work in this thing. I'd like to thank Milton Cat for the sponsorship for MRS, all the people in Wiscasset. Last year had a great crowd. Today, weather looks pretty rough, but they showed up and it was awesome. I love racing up here and all the tracks in Maine. And hopefully next time we come back, we'll be a little better.
Hey, so what do you like to do in Maine when you're not racing? You like to do some pretty cool stuff.
Well, we snowmobile. I do that quite a bit in the winter, all the time. We fish Moosehead all the time. We vacation up there. Just a beautiful state. I like the remoteness. It's kind of like where I'm from. I'm just southern New Hampshire, but I'm in the woods. So.
All right, he may not be from Maine, but he knows all about Maine things. Give it up for him. Second place here, Kirk Alexander. Yes, sir. All right, so this man right here, you can make it to Cabela's here later on tonight. Give it up for third place, Joey Jarvis. All right, Joey, definitely an interesting race for you. You really came on there at the end. The car was really working on the bottom side.
Yeah, the car stayed underneath me really well. That's the first time we've been able to actually put a good run together with this thing. And I tried to pace myself at the beginning and get into a position. When I saw Matt go by, I knew it was time to go because that's the car to beat. So you just try to hang with him. I didn't even know Kirk was in the lead. He was so far in the lead, he was gone. So
you thought you were second now, right?
Yeah, I did too. And then Yellow came out, and we were third. But I'm super happy with this. I'm glad this is my first trip to Wiscasset. Had a great time. It's a great facility, and we'll definitely be back.
And you're right up in front and see all the fans, too. This is pretty unique. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for him. Car number 04, this is Joey Jarvis, finishes in the top 3. That'll do it for the Nor'easter 75 for the Modified Racing Series. I'm going to turn things over to Ken Minot. Enjoy the rest of your evening here at Wiscasset Speedway, and enjoy racing right here live and in person on a Saturday night.
Pace card heads in, and we're ready to get back underway now with the Kennebec Equipment Rental Outlaw Minis. Green flag is out. Side by side through turn 1 and 2. Little advantage on the outside for Jason Kimball. Zach Audette waits behind there on the outside. Kimball able to clear the 08 and move into the lead. That opens up the outside lane now to Zach Audette. Zach moves up to go wheel to wheel with Kimball. Problems for the number 16 of Ian Frazier. He'll head down pit road and drop out early after just one lap. In the meantime, Zach Audette able to secure the lead for himself. We got a new black Ford pickup truck with temporary plates on it that left its lights on in the parking lot. If you just bought a brand new truck and don't want a dead battery, we encourage you to go shut those lights off. Hey, got to give a shout out while I got a chance. Just got a message here. Dana Ripley of the Ripley clan watching from Louisville, Kentucky right now. Zach Audette, half straightaway cushion now. These Outlaw Minis looking to throw together a clean race tonight. Right now, the 19 stretching out his advantage. Closest right now for second between Kimball and Willett. Jeff Farrington hanging in there too in the 0X. He runs just outside the top three. Zach Audette looking for his second win of this season. We've had 3 official races run and have had 3 different winners this season. Zach Audette looking to be the first repeat winner here in the Outlaw Minis. Still a good tight battle there for second, third, and fourth. Kyle Willett pulls to the inside. Kimball was having trouble holding that low line, opened up the bottom side, and Kyle Willett will take it and take over second. Outside the top 5 is Larry Melcher, or actually Melcher holding down 5th there in the number 41. They'll hit the halfway marker this time by the line. Halfway for Zach Audette. One new addition this week in that number 3 car. That's Wyatt DePietro Jr. Wyatt was here practicing the car yesterday. Full straightaway cushion now for Zach Audette, up to just a tick under 4-second lead. Jason Kimball with a handful of race car there in the 12. Got it sideways in turn 1, ends up giving over third to Jeff Farrington. Farrington hops the curb in turn 3. An eventful lap for both drivers, and they stay side by side for the final position in victory lane. Things finally get sorted out. Farrington's got third all to himself this time. Now pulling away a little bit from Jason Kimball. Jason, whose father, Dave Kimball, is in the Wiscasset Speedway Hall of Fame. Dave Kimball was the car owner when Mike Rowe won his championship here at Wiscasset in 1991. Dave Kimball himself, a couple street stock titles. Things going sour on the 41 of Larry Melcher. He's off the pace on the backstretch. Getting passed by DePietro to take over the 5th spot. Melcher looks like he's going to tap out, this time by the flag stand. Inside the final 5. inside the final 2. White flag will fly this time by for Zach Audette. Final time through turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag awaits. Zach Audette gets win number 2. Kyle Willett will take second. We'll send out quick congratulations down there in Victory Lane. Third place tonight going to Jeff Farrington in the 0X. Second to your runner-up, the 08, your defending champ, Kyle Willett. And your winner in car number 19, Zach Audette, picks up win number 2 on the season. Let's go racing. Steve Reno takes charge of the race. McKee with some contact from the 99 of Scott Trask. McKee ends up wedged up on the curbing a little bit. Caution flies, but he still not a good spot when you get the leaders coming through 3 and 4, but that could have been much worse. There's a good clean start. We are back underway. Father and son on the low side. Young Jack McKee. McKee with a problem in the 26, and they're going to stack him up there in turn number 3. Father and son on the front row. We've been waiting for that one. Steve Reno inside. His son Nick Reno on the outside. They'll go wheel to wheel, Nerf bar to Nerf bar for the lead. And here comes your point leader, Ryan Ripley, up the inside rail. Ripley able to grab second away from Nick Reno. Nick having a little difficulty there on the outside lane. Tough break for Tyler Robbins. Overheating problems in the number 34. He's already shut it down and coasting down pit road. Nick Reno not liking that outside lane. Wayne Witten Jr. takes over third. Now here's a little battle that is returning from about a month ago. These guys mixed it up in a heat race and it got pretty heated. We'll see how they do tonight. Wayne Witten finally able to wrestle that third spot away from Nick Reno. Ripley, bent up race car and all, drives around the outside of Steve Reno and into the lead. Ripley looking for his 4th win of the season. Steve settles into second. Still a close battle for third. Wayne Witten Jr. He's found some good speed in that 0 car lately, coming off a second place run a couple weeks ago. Stretching out that lead now. Last time by, Ryan Ripley turned the fast lap of the race with a 16.30. 82 mile per hour average speed around this 3/8 mile oval. Steve Reno all alone in third. That battle starting to wind up again there for third between Wayne Witten Jr. and Nick Reno. Nick coming into the weekend second in points here in the modified division. Just 4 points behind Ryan Ripley. Ryan Ripley still pushing the envelope there in the number 09, up to 1.2 second lead. .7 seconds now, the lead. They'll hit the halfway marker this time by 15 down, 15 to go on the 09 of Ryan Ripley. Still a good battle for third. Nick Reno's had a couple of runs, but not trusting that outside lane. There's only been 3 repeat winners in all the divisions here at Wiscasset Speedway, and '26 of Garrett McKee Jr. coming back on the track. They may show him the black flag. Not trusting that rear deck lid. McKee gets up out of line and lets the leaders come through. This time by 10 laps to go. Actually, by crossing the line, just finishing that lap, Garrett McKee able to leapfrog over Tyler Robbins to take 7th place. That's about as good as he could do with as many laps down. He was down 17 laps and there were only 15 to go, so that's as good as Garrett McKee would be able to do anyway. Doesn't even sound like Ripley's really pushing that 09 car that hard. Maintaining that half straightaway lead. Further back in the field, a good side-by-side battle between Mike Brown in the 39 and Scott Trask in the 99. They've been going back and forth for 5th and 6th for much of the race. Trouble on the backstretch. Trask and Brown get together. No movement yet from the 39. Now he gets it cranked back up and underway. This time by, it'll be 2 laps to go on the number 09 of Ryan Ripley. Ryan Ripley trying to nurse that car to the victory. You can see it's beginning to overheat out the overflow. No doubt the radiator caved in a little bit on that car, but he'll bring it to the feature win. All right, so we'll send out congrats in Victory Lane, your third place car in the number 0 from Kennebunk, Wayne Witten Jr. Second place goes to the number 7 out of West Bath. Steve Reno is your runner-up tonight. And your winner, point leader and top winner so far this year in car number 09 with his 4th win of the season, Ryan Ripley is your winner. Sean Dickinson and infield manager Roland Abbott on the backstretch wall. Mike Warren in turn 3 and 4. Chief starter Nate Sennett up on the flag stand, ready to turn him loose. Our final division of the night is the Wood Pellet Warehouse Late Model Sportsman. Thank you to the Barker family. James and Steve Barker, as always, for their support of our top shelf Group 2 division. Let's go racing. Everybody shuffling through turn 1 and 2. Frank Moulton leads the way. Brings the 24 of Jonathan Emerson with him to second. Silas Ripley not afraid to use that outside lane. He made it work during his heat race, but right now not working so well as he's gone from second back to 4th and in danger of losing more spots. Alex Waltz throws it into turn 1. He takes over 5th. Will Collins right behind him in the 25. Tiger Colby now on the move in the 78, looking outside of Jonathan Emerson. Colby going for second as Frank Moulton starts to pull away. Colby able to finish the pass out of turn 2, moves into second and trying to chase down the 15. Now a little bit further back, the 25 of Will Collins working outside of Alex Waltz, able to clear him heading into turn 1. That'll put the 25 of Collins into the top 5. Battle right now is closest for that 3rd spot. Jonathan Emerson has got it. Silas Ripley behind him in 4th. Little contact into turn 4. Good move from Ripley to let the 24 correct it. That could have been a big problem in stacking up cars in front of a big wad of swarm of cars back behind them. Now Ripley's going to have to do it on the outside. They'll go even up down the back chute. Collins patiently waiting there with another car barreling up the outside. That's the 21 of Shane Clark. Clark from the back of the pack up into the top 5. In the meantime, up front, Tiger Colby has chased down the leader. Tiger Colby in just his 2nd race of the season, patiently working on the outside of Moulton. You got to go full straightaway back to the 3rd place car of Silas Ripley. and the 21 of Shane Clark. Trouble up in turn number 3. Got a few cars up there. The 05 of Brett Osmond able to drive away Daniel Harding, Jet Decker, and I believe that maybe the... Not sure, that might be the 30 of... No, not DC Alexander. Pace car in, Moulton and Colby will get the green. Lead pair jump out, a couple of car lengths already on the rest of the pack. Resuming their great battle for the lead. Now these guys dealing on the surface with some stuff they normally don't have to. That rubber laid down by those soft modified tires, making things a bit slick out there. Tiger Colby able to finish off the pass and take the lead as they come around to complete lap 15. Moulton back to second now. Shane Clark from the back of the field up into the third position. Clark started this one back in 11th. Silas Ripley in the 09 fourth. Will Collins locked into that fifth position. Alex Waltz in the 00 nearly collected the 86 of Pat Murphy. Waltz has really been fighting the handle on that 00. Now he's caught on the outside and Anchor is out. Tiger Colby gets the halfway marker this time by 20 down, 20 to go. Stretching it out now, a half straightaway lead, 1.5 second advantage for the 78. Pat Murphy, close call for the 86. Might have to peel his fingers off the steering wheel at the end of this race. He nearly turned himself into the backstretch wall in turn 3. Now a battle for second starting to develop. Shane Clark and the 21 on the high side of Frank Moulton. They'll go wheel to wheel in turn 3. Still Moulton by half a car length over Shane Clark, but Shane patiently working that outside lane. Clark in the 21, Moulton in the 15. Give that spot to Shane Clark by 65 100ths of a second that time by the stripe. Colby has stretched his lead out to a full straightaway. Again, Shane Clark showing how it's done on the high side. He and Moulton putting on a great side-by-side battle. Silas Ripley starting to sneak into the picture. Clark barely clears the 15. Moulton coming back to reclaim the inside. Great battle for second and third. Silas Ripley waits there in fourth. 10 laps to go for Tiger Colby. Shane Clark reloads and finally drives out around the 15 once again. Working the passing flag on the 8 car of Randy Barker. Tiger Colby now getting into some lap traffic. Silas Ripley and Frank Moulton. Ripley able to get a nose underneath and take over the third spot. Moulton hangs onto it and stays there in fourth. Tiger still picking his way through that lap traffic. Shane Clark all alone in second. Inside the final 5. Tiger Colby, 4th generation of the Colby racing family. Trying to nail down his first win of 2023. This time by 2 laps to go. White Laundry is out. And he is over a full straightaway ahead, over 4-second lead. One more smooth ride through turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag is ready. Tiger Colby gets the win. Tiger Colby will get the win. Shane Clark second. Silas Ripley third in the number 09. Yeah, we got a 4th generation Colby and a 3rd generation Ripley in victory lane tonight, and that says a lot for the history of this racetrack.
And hey, not to steal any spotlight from Shane Clark, he's had a rough season, and we'll talk about that with him in just a second. But how about you guys give a round of applause for Tiger Colby? As Ken said, late model win number 5 of his career, and only your 2nd time to the track this season. In your 2nd visit, picking up the win, Tiger, and you had him covered, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it was wicked fast. I got to thank Distance Racing, Colby's All Center Tire, BNS Radio, Rubars, Redemption. I couldn't do it without these guys. I really couldn't.
So what's the scoop on this car? Another brand new one?
Yeah, it's a brand new Distance car I built over the winter. I sold my Super Street, and then I had to race something, so I had to put this thing together.
All right. Anything else you want to say in victory lane? Anybody that you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank my mom, my dad, my grandfather, my mammy. They support me 100%, so I couldn't do it without them.
All right, Tiger Colby, ladies and gentlemen. Had him covered tonight. And now Shane Clark. You blew up a motor earlier this year. You blew a clutch and had a bad finish, and it's not a win, but this has to be a little sigh of relief, right?
Yeah, definitely. Anytime you come up from the back, and
I think the last 2 or 3 times I've been here, I've been in the top 3. So we'll take it. Huge thanks to Corey Elton, his continuing dedication, his girlfriend Tabitha. Coming to these races is awesome. My cousin Isaiah, Jason Elton for spotting for me tonight. My buddy Derek's here from Montana. That's pretty cool. He wanted to come down and watch me race. I'm sure my mother for sticking this out. Huge thanks to Eric DeShield Transportation, Distance Racing Products, Main Fire Protection, Stickit Custom Vinyl, Harvey RV, and Bernie Thayer. Awesome engines.
All right, tell me, Shane. Was it getting a little bit slick out there?
It definitely was, but it was raceable. I thought it was kind of fun. It was all right. We fought tight all day, so we were just kind of working on that or whatever. Just got to get it back to the winning ways. We'll do our homework and come back. We're going to come back next week with this car. So.
All right, Shane, nice runner-up finish for the 21 car. And here we go. 13-year-old Silas Ripley finally gets himself in late model victory lane. And Silas, you had to give a little tap to the rear bumper to get it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was really tight. I'd like to thank my mom, dad, Herb, Kelsey, Mason, Olivia, Ava, Mark, Dana, Wayne, and Dustin and Ryan. And I'd like to thank mainly Concrete and then Performance Paving.
All right, hey, so it looked like you were running right up front at first, then it kind of fell back a little bit, and then it was coming in again at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was trying to cool the tires down under caution just because it was so tight, because I had so much air in the tires.
All right, Silas Ripley finally gets himself a 3rd place finish. And then his cousin, Ryan Ripley, won the modified race. Can't be much better of a night for that family. All right, that's going to do it from Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane and another fantastic night at Wiscasset Speedway. Ken, why don't you send us home?
All right, thank you very much, Nick Huff, and congrats to all our top 3 down there in Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane, all our winners tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget, back in action next Saturday night here at Maine's biggest and fastest. Group 1 is back in action. Double features for the 4-cylinder pros and super streets. Also action in the pro stocks and Thunder 4 minis. And we'll have Enduro number 2, 100 laps of mechanized mayhem next Saturday night. Check the website for all the gate times and information, and hope you guys can join us then. One final time on behalf of Richard and Vanessa Jordan and the entire staff and tonight's race sponsor, Whited Equipment. Thank you very much for attending. Have a great rest of your weekend. Please travel safely. Good night.